Jim, I know that during your time at TSN, you covered alpine skiing. What was that like?
In a word, thrilling. Absolutely, well, that's 2 words. Absolutely thrilling. Do you ski?
I don't, but I learned how to snowboard years ago with a program called Snow Hawks. And coincidentally, our first story is about the Ottawa Ski Hawks, who are adapting downhill skiing for the blind and low vision community.
Dave Brown slalomed his way into the Gatineau Hills on a foggy night to get more in this story.
Hey guys, I'm just out having a little ski at the base of Camp Fortune. My dad taught me to ski when I was a kid. He acted as my guide. Not everybody's so lucky. That's why the Ottawa Ski Hawks are aiming to make skiing inclusive for those who have low vision. Kim Leahy has been skiing with the Ski Hawks for over 30 years. Clad in her bright orange vest, she describes what it feels like to zip down the mountain.
It's invigorating, feeling the wind on your skin, the sensation on the feet, the speed, just enjoying the scenery as well, the peace and quiet of the snow. I just feel alive.
For Rick Maines, skiing gives him a sense of freedom.
It feels like I'm my own person, like that nothing else like really can bother me because like I can choose my own path.
But no member of the Ottawa Ski Hawks can conquer the slopes without a bit of assistance. Paul Johansson has been a guide for 14 years. He explains how the guiding works.
Typically, we sort of start out with the skier in front of us, then the head guide that is calling the directions that you want them to turn left, right, and making sure that they're safe.
If a skier wants more than vocal instruction, the guide can physically connect with the skier using tethers or ski poles, which help with speed and orientation. And once a guide and their skier establish that bond and trust, Paul says the guide takes on another role.
If they're interested, advance their skills so that they can become a better skier. And becoming a better skier, you begin to enjoy the sport more. You enjoy going faster because you're safer. And I think that's one of the rewarding goals, is to see somebody come from nothing to really very good.
And that kind of improvement is one reason the skiers keep coming back. But for Rick, the fun goes beyond getting down the hill.
It gave me like a sense of belonging and like something to do instead of just staying home and just keeping like to myself. It gave me like a part of a group to join. Every Wednesday I look forward to coming up here and just being part of a big group and having everyone, it's like a family rather than a program.
And although it's the skiing that keeps bringing Kim to the mountain, she agrees with Rick.
My favorite part is the social aspect. It's meeting and being surrounded by such wonderful people who share the same passion of skiing. Over the years, I've made quite a number of friends, and that's what I appreciate, I think, the most.
Carolyn Mitro is the president of the Ottawa Ski Hawks. She sees sizable crowds and familiar faces coming back to Camp Fortune week after week.
I can tell you that they're excited to come out every single Wednesday night, and it doesn't matter how cold it is or how rainy it is. They're here because it's an activity. It's a social outing for them also. And for those of them that are athletic, it's just one other sport to put in their belt.
The Ottawa Ski Hawks welcome skiers of all ages and abilities. Kim thinks that even if you're a bit hesitant, you should give it a try.
Skiing is for everyone. Anyone can do it. Sometimes you have to adapt the sport depending on the need, but really there's no barriers. You just have to try it and see for yourself.
That sounds like a blast. You can hear how much Rick and Kim enjoy hitting the slopes.
Dave told us that Kim is a very advanced skier and that Rick just loves bombing down the hill. Dave and his videographer Darcy actually couldn't keep up.
To be fair, Dave hadn't skied in over 6 years and Darcy hadn't in 25. So their learning curve was probably a bit parabolic.
Ooh, nice pun. The Ottawa Ski Hawks have been running their program out of Camp Fortune for 40 years, and everyone involved just raves about how accommodating Camp Fortune has been to them.
If you want to try your hand at adapted skiing, there are programs all across the country.
But to learn more about the Ottawa Ski Hawks, visit the Canadian Association of Disabled Skiing's website for the National Capital Region at cads-ncd.ca.